Then they arrived in the country of the Gerasenes, which is across from Galilee. As Jesus stepped out on the land, a man who had a demon came from the city and met him. Now, for many years he had gone without clothing, and he didn't live in a house but among the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he came and fell before him and shouted at the top of his voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you not to torment me." For Jesus had already commanded the demon to come out from the man. For many times it had seized him. He was kept under guard and bound with chains and shackles, but he would break the bonds and be driven by the demon into the wilds. Jesus then asked him, "What is your name?" And he answered, "Legion," for many demons had entered the man. Then they begged Jesus not to command them to go back into the abyss. Now it happened that a herd of swine were feeding on the hillside. And so the demons asked Jesus to allow them to enter the swine. And he gave them permission. So the demons came out of the man and went into the swine. And then the whole herd went rushing down the steep hill into the lake and drowned. When the swineherd saw what had happened, they ran off and told it in the city and in the country. Then all the people from the surrounding country of the Gerasenes came to see what had happened. And when they saw Jesus, they saw the man from whom the demons had gone, sitting at Jesus' feet, clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. Now those who had seen what had happened told how the man from whom the demons had come had been healed. Then all the people from the country asked Jesus to leave them, because they were seized with a great fear. And so he got into the boat and returned. Now the man from whom the demons had gone begged that he might be with Jesus. But Jesus sent him away, saying, "Return to your home and tell of all that God has done for you." And so he went away, proclaiming throughout the city all that Jesus had done for him. This is the gospel of our Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. It's been a couple of months since we've heard from the Gospel of Luke, and so it might be important to remind ourselves how this gospel story goes. This is the one where we get the birth narrative of Jesus. It's where we hear Mary's beautiful song of praise to God about the world being turned upside down, the poor and the lowly lifted up, and the high and the mighty being brought down. We hear of the kingdom as a place where all stand equal before one another and before God. After the birth narratives, Jesus, as in all the Gospels, is baptized by John and then is tempted in the wilderness. And then Jesus' public ministry begins by going back home. He goes to Nazareth and on the Sabbath day enters the synagogue. And he reads from the prophet Isaiah, reading the part where it says, "I have come to proclaim release for the captives, recovery of sight for the blind, that the